Hello, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so excited for you to be joining the launch of this book today. My name is Sansare Tate. I will be your MC today. We will start with a few ground rules, just a few things, what do we call it, housekeeping orders. Number one, if you haven't already, please put your name and your city in the chat box and any message that you want Sister Nikichi to see. So number one, if you haven't already, please go to the chat box, put your name, your city, and a message. Congratulations is fine. Next, we want you to go to the view on this Zoom and use speaker instead of gallery. So when somebody's speaking, you can focus on the speaker. So number two, go to your view and select speaker. Next, we're almost there. There will not be a Q&A. So if you have questions, put them in the chat and somebody on the team, excuse me, will try to answer. Also, VIPs in the room, please mute your mic. And finally, in the chat room, there will be a link so you can purchase the book today. We're having this collective effort today. We're going to make this a bestseller from the jump. So please go to Amazon today, maybe even while we're in this party, and order your first book today to make this a bestseller. Then go to our bookstore, our Black bookstores and independent bookstores later to get that second and third copy for gifts. Trust me, when you start reading your copy, you're going to think of people to call and say, hey, you need to order this because it's going to remind you of somebody. You'll also think of people who you'll say, oh my goodness, this is a great Christmas gift, a great Kwanzaa gift, a great birthday gift. All this to say, I am crazy excited about this book. The more I read it, sometimes I can't put it down. Sometimes I have to put it down to think about something she said. Anyway, again, welcome everybody. We're gonna have a good time. I hope you got some bubbly with you. We're gonna start with libations, and libations will be led by Sister Okumfo Ama Niachi. She is trained in the Akan tradition in Africa, and she's going to lead us in libations.
We're opening up with libation, and libation is one of the most oldest forms of prayer and acknowledgement, and we do it in many different scenarios. We want to start or begin something that is important, be it a naming ceremony, be it a wedding, be it something that is a new beginning. You want to initiate something or to acknowledge something. So today we are commemorating and giving thanks and honor to the ancestors, personal ancestors of Nkechi Taifa, to her mother's mothers, father's fathers, and all that work with her, and to the gods of our ancestors. Ancestral acknowledgement, as above, so below. We pour water to acknowledge the oneness of all things. So, we're going to begin. I go.
Amen.
I go.
Amen.
Onyaka pono trayo kon kwame sa. Asafi ya sa. Asoji beje sa no. Nani isi tekwa sa. Nani isi tekwa sa. Nani kumye sa. Nani kumye sa. Nani kwame sa. Nani obo beje sa no. Sharaga kutu sa. Obu sa. Asu tanga sa. Asu boku pre sa. Nani kweko deku beje sa no. Asu chubuma sa. Asu ebna sa. So this great as we got so I don't mind. Nana isi tekwa beje sa no. Oshune sa. Olokune sa. Yemo jate beje sa no. Mami wasa beje sa no. Mam kumbalamba beje sa no. Mam sambi beje sa no. To all of the deities of African and diaspora, we call upon you. To Asua, to be Wadadona, we call upon the sacred rivers, Asua, sanctified Bridges, to Niger, Mississippi, Potomac, Anacostia, and so to the Asuos of the Zambezi Bridges, son of the Nile Valley Bridges, son of to all of the rivers and waters where our ancestors may have crossed. We call upon one, we call upon all. Bijansanam, Bijansanam, we call upon the sacred clans of North Africa, South Africa, East Africa, West Africa. Bijansanam, we call upon the clans of Nkechi Taisa's mothers, and fathers. Bijansanam, we call upon all the powers of the wind, the powers of the force. We call upon Abu of the ground that which we stand on. We call upon the powers of our ancestors, those who have gone before and those who have returned. We call upon all. We call upon all. We call upon at this time the personal family ancestors of Mama Nkechi. We call upon those personal family ancestors at this time.
I call upon my great-great-grandmother, Anita King. I call upon my grandmother, Georgina Carries McIntosh. I call upon my grandmother, Georgia McKinney. I call upon my grandfather, James Albert McIntosh. I call upon my aunt, Millicent Francis. I call upon my aunt, Clarence McIntosh. I call upon my aunt, Ida Evans. I call upon my aunt, Juliet Caldwell Challenge. I call upon my uncle, Ambrose McIntosh. I call upon my cousin, Donald Francis. I call upon my cousin, Teddy Francis. I call upon my cousin, Lucy Ambrose McIntosh. I call upon my niece, Tina Lene Drake. I call upon my father. I call upon my father, Elmo St. Caldwell. I call upon my father, Elmo St. Caldwell. Elmo St. Caldwell. I call upon my mother, Josephine McIntosh Caldwell. I call upon my mother, Josephine Evangeline McIntosh Caldwell. My mother and my father, my ancestors. I call upon all of those whose names I do not know, those who have not called for, who have stood by me, who have walked with me, who have taught me, and who have reviewed from me, all of my family ancestors, those known and unknown. Thank you so very much. I call upon you.
All of those family ancestors, those warrior mothers and warrior teachers of her personal family line, we say Midawasi. We call you forth to acknowledge your presence. We say Midawasi. We call upon at this time those warrior mothers, those warrior teachers who have fought for the liberation of our people through justice, for those who dare to stand up and speak, for those who have dared to have sacrificed their life, blood, sweat, and tears, those who may have been tortured but had pure heart and pure spirit. If their names have never been called, we are acknowledging you today for the work that you have done to fight for our sovereignty, for our freedom, for our right to breathe, for our right to hear, for our right to share, for our right to love. We call upon you. So at this time, you call upon those honored ancestors that you want to acknowledge in this work.
I would like to call upon the honored ancestors whom I dedicated my book to. I walked in their midst. I learned from them. I sat at their feet. I was imbued with their wisdom. I call upon the spirits of Dr. Reverend Ishaka Musabawa Shango. I call upon the spirit of ancestor brother President Dr. Imari Abubakari Obadeli. I call upon the ancestor of my legal mentor, attorney, former mayor, brother Chokwe Lumumba. I call upon my brother from here, right here in Washington, D.C. I learned from him at his seat, Brother Kwame Lafoe, also known as BPBL Media. I also call upon those female mothers who I sat at their feet. I learned from their wisdom. I walked in their midst. Queen Mother Ali Moore. I call upon the spirit of the great Queen Mother Ali Moore. I call upon the spirit of Dr. Francis Prince. So much knowledge, so much information. It's beautiful. I call upon the wisdom. I call upon the teachings of Dr. Nellie Jean Sindab. Words just cannot express. I call upon the spirit of ancestors, warrior, spirit, Sister Sapia, Bukari. I call upon all of those spirits, those 8 spirits, the 4 men and the 4 women that I dedicated my book to. And I want to call upon just our general ancestors, such as Brother Malcolm X, all the great honorable Marcus Messiah, God, we call upon the great leader, Harriet Tubman. We call upon our Sister Rosa, we call upon Queen Nzinga, Queen Asafwa, we call upon Toussaint Louverture and Dessalines, and we call upon all of those that I learned from Fred Hampton, Brother Geronimo Gijaga, all of those who, again, walked in the midst of those such as Baba Ngoma right here in Washington, D.C., Baba Afo, Karamoko right here in D.C., Sister Rabia Rafa, we call upon Brother Kariga, we call upon all of those who I walked with right here in the Washington, D.C. community and beyond to come with us. Thank you, Madasi, Dwa'u, for being that example and for imbuing that wisdom through my head, okay, to lead me to the point where I am today.
Yes, Mugawasi. Nanami Pacho, we call upon all those honored ancestors, those who walk with us. We say thank you for your sacrifice. We say thank you for your courage. We say thank you. And we ask that you continue to be at our sides, our backs, our front, underneath us, that you protect our steps, and you protect the children that are growing up, the children that are coming. You protect the elders that are here still physically on this earth. May they stay as long as their destiny is destined for them to be. May we all have good health. May all the leaders, the freedom fighters, have good health, Mipaucho. We ask them that they have good health and long life, that they take care of themselves, Mipaucho. We ask that. We say Medawasi P for all of those ancestors who have done and continue to do this work. Mipaucho, Yasumo Iodine, Yasumo Inyasa. We ask for strength. We ask for wisdom. Yasumo Sika, we ask for wealth of mind, body, and spirit for our people. We say Midawasi. Mipacho, Yasumo, I will be Yasumo Yasumo Sika. Moma Bidi by Uncle Yema, Yingini Nana Paso, Mipacho, Ame, Okomfo, and Yamache. Asuo, a Surgery Yeti, Asuo, Abena Yeti, daughter of John Giddens and Ordy Giddens. I come here, Okono, on behalf of the family of Nkichi Taifa as she opens up and to bless the work that she's done. Black power, Black lawyers. Black power, Black lawyers. Black power, Black lawyers. We ask that my aunt continue to guide and protect her as she seeks to restore justice, harmony, order, balance, propriety, and reciprocity to this earth. We call upon all of the energies of Ma'at throughout the diaspora to come and to rise as this work opens up. We know this is the time of restoring of the great mother, of the African woman to her rightful throne. We say Midawasi. We say Midawasi for the restoration of the African family. We say Midawasi P for all the fathers and all the children that have sacrificed their lives. We ask that as this work is done, may all African people be protected by any bullet that comes to them, the physical bullet or the mental bullet, those directed at ourselves or directed from the others. It doesn't matter. May Ma'at be restored. May we know self-love. May justice be done for all of us and through this work and through her ancestors. All of you, we say Midawasi P for educating and instilling in her the pride and the legacy and the determination to help our people. We say Midawasi P for Mariama, for her child, for her daughter who has witnessed. May she be protected. May her heart be light as a feather. May her light shine bright. And bless everyone on this day. Yenanan in Kwasal Medasi Nanano.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that a dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on until victory is won. In Kosi Sikeleli, Africa, Malupa kan Yisu Ponduluayo, Izwai mitandazo yetu. In Kosi Sikelela, Tina Lusapuluayo, Woza Moya. Woza moya, woza moya, woza moya, woza moya. Oh yingwele, usisi kelela, tina lusapuluayo.
Wow, that was Sister Ayana Gregory, Black anthem and the African anthem. Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, Sansere, first of all, thank you so much for hosting and emceeing my launch of the birth of my baby, shall I say.
I am so excited about this, more than I can even tell you. The praise that we just saw in the libation ceremony, the songs, I feel all that love in the book, all that praise, all that calling. So I'm here to thank you. We're all here to thank you. All your loved ones, people, we are celebrating your life today, my sister.
Thank you so very much. And I'm still full from that libation. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, she really brought the spirits and the ancestors down. Oh my goodness. And then followed by Sister Ayana Gregory. And you know what? Her father, the great legendary Dick Gregory, had such a profound impact upon my life. Oh my goodness. And Sansere, I mean, most folk don't know, but let me tell you, you have always inspired me. You are the author of the phenomenal memoir called Little X, Growing Up in the Nation of Islam. And then you followed that up with, what was it, Do Me Twice?
Yes, that's
After the Nation. I mean, we both native Washingtonians. And
yes.
I'm really blessed that you agreed to, come on and kick it with me a little bit on this.
Yes. So your book, there were parts where I just had to put it down and call somebody. Your book, you're telling our story. You got some things in there that some of us ain't quite get up the courage to say publicly, but you got out there. And I'm like, you in 100, I'm loving it.
So let's just take a second now and just watch like a little 1 minute little video clip that tells just about just what we're about to be up into. It's like a little 1 minute video promo. So let's go on and let it rock and roll. Greetings, folk. My name is Nikichi Taifa, and I'm the author of Black Power, Black Lawyer, My Audacious Quest for Justice. My memoir is not just my personal story, which I might say is serious, scandalous, and sassy, but it's also a personal glimpse into The movement, from our insider's personal perspective, Black Power movement, the anti-apartheid movement, the movement to free political prisoners, the reparations movement, the movement against mass incarceration. This book could not have come at a more critical time. We are witnessing the dawning of a new movement, nothing radical, but just one to say that Black lives matter. As such, we need to look at the movements from the past. We need to analyze them. We need to look at their faults and their flaws, and we need to embrace their triumphs. Black Power, Black Lawyer does just that, with honesty, humor, and authenticity. It is my hope that it sparks much needed intergenerational dialogue for these very, very trying times. You can pre-order my book from my website, www.blackpowerbblacklawyer.com, or ask for it wherever books are sold.
That's it. So you've got a lot of scholarship in there. And I like the way you list at the back of the book, because when I'm reading the book, I'm like, she read a lot of books. Some of this stuff I haven't seen, and I read a lot. But you've got a lot of scholarship in there, but it's not dense kind of scholarship. Anyway, so we're all here to celebrate the book, you. I want to just give a shout out to some of your friends and family who came, Ron Hampton, Patrice Gaines, Anuli Street, Tayimba, Laura, Mosquita. So yeah, thank you all for joining.
Yeah, let me tell you this, on Saray. There are over 130 people have signed in so far. I just feel so blessed, and I know there are a couple of folk who's going to give a couple of shout outs, and I see them in the panelists. I think it was Ron Daniels and Rukia and Greg Carr. So why don't you bring up one or two?
Okay, bring up Dr. Ron Daniels. A lot of your friends already know who he is. Been watching him on panel discussions, reading his work. I was reading his work in the Washington Informer. For those who don't know, Dr. Ron Daniels is the president of the Institute of the Black World 21st Century and the convener of the National African American Reparations Commission. He's going to say a few words about you and your book.
Yeah, just have about 1 or 2 minutes, and this is his book right here, Still on This Journey, The Vision and the Mission of Dr.
Awesome.
Ron Daniels. Where's Brother Ron? There we go.
Well, I'm full and I'm tired, because trying to keep up with Sister Nkechi Taifa is a task. We all work for Sister Nkechi Taifa. She is the greatest multitasker of all time. She is incredible. And so on this day, we want to celebrate her incredible work. She is truly a gem, someone who is nationalist and Pan-Africanist, but she can reach across the aisle to talk to anyone. She's an outsider, an insider. She's an all-around freedom fighter. And she's used her extraordinary talents over the years to advance our struggle. And she does it in such a magnificent way. She does it with such joy and such rhythm. And so when we do events with the National African American Reparations Commission, she's like, it's like she comes back by popular demand. Where is that Nkechi Taifa? We want to hear her again, because she's just an incredible, incredible person. So we know that she's a founding member of NCOBRA. Her reparations has been a lifetime work for her. We are proud to have her as a commissioner of the National African American Reparations Commission. And so we want everyone to buy this book so that you can get the real deal on inside of a lot of stuff that we didn't know about. So Black Power, Black Lawyer, my quest for justice is an absolute must. So thank you so much, and let's get on with the party.
Thank you so very much, Brother Ron. I mean, I really appreciate it. I mean, you know, you're one of the people whose feet I sat at as well and drank from your cup of knowledge and wisdom. So Asante Sana.
Next, we'll hear from Rukia Lumumba. She'll say a few words about this wonderful woman's life and book too.
And before Rukia comes up, I gotta say, she my heart. I mean, I'm telling you, she is someone who comes from a freedom fighting and freedom loving family. One of the people I dedicated one of the ancestors I dedicated my book to was her father, former mayor of Jackson, Mississippi, Brother Chokwe Lumumba. And I was close to him as well as his beautiful wife, Rukia's mother, Nubia Lumumba. So is Rukia there in the house? I think I saw her in the...
I'm here. I hope you can hear me well. Just so thankful for this book. Thankful for you, Nkechi, for, your lifelong work, all that you have done, and continuously obtaining the energy, doing everything that's necessary to consistently continue to tell our stories. You know, I had some of the first books as a child, right? I go way back. So I had Stolen Legacy. Was it Stolen Legacy? Am I saying it right? Come on. What is it?
Easy.
Yes. Okay. I still have that book on our bookshelf. Okay. These were my bedtime stories. Okay. As a child. So, and you would never know, right? Because Nikita, you still look like you my age right now. You're just so youthful and have so much energy. So thankful, but also just very thankful for all of the support, the energy, the wisdom, the guidance that you not only provided my parents, both my mother and my father, throughout my father's legal career. All of the times you helped defend him when he got threats of disbarment from from Mississippi Bar Association, even when they prevented him from taking the bar or being admitted in the state of Mississippi. You and the National Council of Black Lawyers, Adjo Ayator, so many other folks here on this call, on this Zoom right now. Support when he did get disbarred for talking back to a judge and defending his client zealously. But then also for all that you provided me as a student, right there at Howard University Law School. Literally, my hope was gone in the law. I went to law school thinking I was going to learn something amazing about the system that I didn't know, that was hidden, that they weren't telling us. And I came to find out that everything I saw already was the truth, that the legal system in this country was not fair nor just, nor ever going to be fair or just until we dismantle it and create something new. But it was through your classes at Howard that I actually saw a way to use the law in my organizing and my desire to create a new system in a way where we could actually see change in our communities. You gave me hope, but you also gave me a way. You gave me a process. You gave me a vision. You gave me information. You gave me, I'm trying to think of the correct word. You helped me develop a strategy, right? Through those classes that I had the pleasure of being in with you, I learned that what we were envisioning could become reality. And I say that to say that even our involvement in the defund police movement right now, as a member of the Movement for Black Lives and the Malcolm X Grassroots Movement, and leader of the People's Advocacy Institute, all of that work comes from sitting at the foot of people like you who helped us to learn about the reality of pushing beyond what we can see existing right now, pushing beyond what we see and pushing to what we know could happen in the future. Even when we can't see it right now in our present, we know that it is possible. And that comes from a lot of the work that you've done. And so I'm excited about this book because it will tell stories, it tells history, it provides facts, and it provides a pathway, it provides information for us to continue to use and build. And for my son and others to continue to look at and build and know that what we are dreaming of is possible and will become a reality, so as long as we work with it and stay committed to it. So much thanks and praise to you. And for all the work around political prisoners, never stopping, never giving up, all of the work, around reparations. Look, we're going to see it all one day soon.
My sister, thank you so very much. I really appreciate you and everything. And your brother, who's the current mayor of Jackson.
Yes.
All I got to say is free the land, free the land, free the land.
By any means necessary. Yes.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So yes, Sister Rukia helped get her brother elected. So he's now the mayor of Jackson, Mississippi. And the lessons that she talks about in the book, that was another thing I liked, because she takes us on her job. So we see how she planned the meetings, how she planned the events. And it's instructional. On the back of the book, Danny Glover says this should be a textbook. Every emerging leader should have this as required reading. And I think when you read your copy, you'll see exactly why. So moving right along next. Well, hasn't this been wonderful so far? We got
It's been great. Can I say one thing?
praise. Okay.
One thing is that thank you. And one other thing I learned from our dear sister Inakichi is to claim the work that you have done. I didn't just help, I was his campaign manager and continue to be his campaign manager.
Wow.
Let's
okay.
lay it out there, okay?
That's it.
My sister.
That's it. Okay.
I think I saw Greg Carr popped in, and he might have to pop out. So I want to see if he can come on and say a few words. Is he there? Is Greg Carr there? Greg Carr, let me tell you, this brother, we're talking about chair of the Afro-American Studies Department of Howard University. Ron Downey's talking about me being a multitasker. I mean, Professor Dr. Greg Carr, oh my God, out of this world. I was just so blessed that he wrote the foreword to my book.
Awesome.
Take it away for just a couple of minutes, 1 or 2 minutes, Greg Carr.
No, with pleasure, Sister Nkechi. I want to say thank you for honoring me for just putting a few words out of everybody in your universe of freedom fighters. Thank you for allowing me to maybe, hopefully help those who might not know. You know, those who know, we all here. And so many of us will help some of those folks who might not know yet who you are, not only to us, but to the world. It is a great honor and pleasure to be in this moment with you in this ritual moment. As we face another wave from our open enemies, reading your book again and again and again is a reminder that not only will we win, we really can't lose if we evoke our ancestors and each other and we move. So as you said, Baba Ron was still on this journey. We were just together before this damn plague hit, and you helped birth his book into the world, introducing it. We were over at Howard. And I'm so grateful that I had a second to follow our sister Rakia, because I felt like she felt. I wasn't born into the movement, but I was in law school in the late 80s thinking, we can use this to fight these people. And it took me getting there. See, Rakia had her suspicions confirmed. I got hit in the face with straight ice water. It was like, no. But around that time, just around that time, I became aware of Chokwe Lumumba and Nkechi Taifa, Baba Amari Obadeli, Alton Maddox, Adjo Toro. And I said, wait a minute, where are these people at? This is what I'm looking for. And the first time I read Reparations, yes. Nkechi Taifa was a name. Go ahead, sis. Go and pull it. There it is right there. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, you have no idea what that did for those of us who had not met you all physically yet. We found not only inspiration, but we found instruction. And that led us to you. And we've all been in that movement ever since. And I'll say one other thing, because as you say, Sister Sansere, whose books I have right over here as well, sis.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you right now, these are the manuals. Ron is right, and Danny Glover is right. These are the workbooks for a lot of young people. Those young people Rakia is dealing with, and Chokwe Antar is dealing with, and all the folks who are looking for manuals. This is a playbook, a page-by-page playbook. And so I'll end with this. You know, for a woman in particular, a woman of African descent who is using the tool of the law as a weapon, once you go before you, Sister Nkechi, there really aren't a whole lot of folks. You know, I think about Pauli Murray, and then it gets so this that I'm saying, I mean, but unlike Pauli Murray, who like you has so many gifts and contributed in so many ways, and like you was anchored in spirit, you have used your gifts to fight in the African liberation struggle globally. So as our brother Jalil walks free for the first time in 43 years, we think about the Jericho movement and what you write about in there. We're going to free every damn body, free them all. And as this country crumbles, read this playbook to figure out what to do next. I appreciate you, sister. You know I love you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
You all really make my heart really warm. Sansere, I
Yes.
just feel so very much blessed with all of the outpourings, and I know we need to go on and move on, but I know there are a lot of folk out there, and I really, really appreciate put your stuff out there, in the chat. But we want to just take a moment and go to another very short 1 minute video that just gives just a little bit more of a flavor of just how I came up into all of this. And as we're waiting for that to come on, I know Brother Greg come. This is a global movement. I see some of my global folk out there on the panelists. Brother Dion Hanna, we're going to hear from him later. Sister Teresa from Kenya, Dion from Bahamas, and
Yes.
in the UK now, who I met through the National Conference of Black Lawyers with Sister Ayatoro, Brother Pete and Charlotte O'Neill, who I visited them a couple of times in Tanzania, exiled as a result of being part of the Black Panther Party. So we're going to be hearing from them later. But right now, we're going to watch just another 1 minute video. Let's let it roll. Mine is the story of a quest really told, the search for the resistors and the rebellious, the pursuit of issues on the cutting edge. My memoir is both serious and scandalous. It's a juicy story of history, politics, law, culture, and romance. It's part memoir, part textbook, part study guide, part expose. It teaches, preaches, rhapsodizes, and tantalizes. In it, I offer my truth, unapologetically and unfiltered, with honesty and fervor. Navigate this quest with me as I bear witness to ancestors, people, and episodes that swayed my consciousness. No matter which vantage point I found myself, from a teenager sitting on the lap of that fine brother pulling security in the front office of the Black Panther Party, to being a catalyst sparking the change to the infamous crack cocaine laws, my audacious quest for justice in society reigned supreme. I grew up as a Black power advocate. I became a Black movement lawyer. I made good decisions and bad, with the challenges, personal frailties, and battle scars that define what it is to be human. My story is just as relevant now as it was during the turbulence of my youth. To today's generation, I show that you can challenge the dominant culture, remain true to your beliefs, have an African name, keep your hair in its natural state, and still kick ass.
Scholarship, practical instructions. One thing that I really, really liked is not only did you do the research, tell us how you did what you did, very importantly for me, coming from my background, you told us about your spiritual rituals. Anybody who knows you knows that you have this boundless energy. And here you showed us how you got that boundless energy. And I think that's so important at this crazy time that we're in. Just that whole spiritual connection is so important. Now, we have another treat. We've had songs, we had libations, we had shout outs. And now Brother Mark Thompson, Reverend Brother Mark Thompson, some of you know him as Matsamela, is going to give an interview that's going to give you some more insight.
Oh my God, the book is finally here. And so excited to be gathered for this very important event. We are so proud of our sister Nikichi. She has been a perennial source of energy in our movement for decades, always a source of energy and excitement and tirelessness, even with her personality, the way she speaks. There's never been a meaningful meeting or movement I've been involved in that Nikichi wasn't involved in.
Matsamela, you too kind, my brother.
That's real. And I'd walk in the door in some situations, and if I didn't see you, I said, well, maybe this ain't what it's really supposed to be. But congratulations, first of all. Black power, Black lawyer. This is great. Congratulations. You must feel, and I watched the piece you did on the Wednesday seminar with Tony Browder and Atlantis Browder. I mean, it really has been like giving birth to another child, hasn't it?
Now, birthing a baby in the middle of a pandemic.
And
Can you believe it?
I don't know. People like us are so busy. That's why I can't write a book. When did you, I'm trying to figure out when you wrote this book.
Well, Maximella, I swear, this has been decades in the making. The book was supposed to come out when I was 50. We won't say how much older I am than 50 right now, but it didn't come out then because, you know, the struggle, the movement, everything's happening. When you going to find time? But actually, it wasn't something that I just started writing and wrote it and then finished. I've been collecting stuff ever since I was a teenager, actually. That's why I have so much material and firsthand material in there, because I'm a pack rat and I would keep stuff. I got speeches that I wrote way back then. I got flyers, I got posters, I got, you know, letters, you know, you name it. So it's been a long journey. I'm just glad this finally come to fruition.
You said on August 19th on the other webinar you did that your book and what you describe, which I find hard to believe, but you said this, it might be somewhat conservative and mild in this moment in history. Why do you say that?
I mean, who would have guessed what is going on now? When I first titled my book, Black Power, Black Glory, I thought, oh my God, this is radical. This is black this, black that. It's going to be too much for people. Oh my goodness. And now I'm thinking it's just too mild. When you talk about defunding the police, when you talk about the issue of reparations being totally and completely mainstream with 2020 candidates talking about it, it's like the things that I thought were very cutting edge and like kind of like over the top, it's like normal now, you know, the term white supremacy, everyday common parlance. It's like, you know, I'm wondering, am I kind of behind the times now? Because young folk, they got this, you know, they got this and they running with it.
Yeah, but I think the book too is instructional for young people, because I mean, your book could almost be a school textbook, Nikichi. I mean, it ought to be. Is that your goal too, to have it at the university level and elsewhere, people reading your book?
Actually, I characterize my book as part memoir, part textbook, part study guide, and part expose. I said that it teaches, it preaches, it rhapsodizes, and it tantalizes. So there's something in there for everybody. There will be study guides that go along with it. Some professors have already said that they want to use it as part of their classes, but it's great for book clubs as well, because it's not just a documentary or anything like that. It's a personal story. It's a human story. Yeah, it has all of the struggle in it and all like that, but it has vulnerabilities in it as well. It has the personal stories. It has the flaws that accompany just about any human being, but in the context of people struggling for liberation, I guess you could say.
We're going to come back to some of those personal stories and frailties and some of those salacious details in a minute.
Well, no, I'm going to say, get the book. But it is some saucy stuff up in there.
Well, we're gonna try to tease out a little of the saucy stuff. You mentioned some now ancestors that I too was honored to spend a little time around. You know, to hear the names of Imari Obadele, Republic of New Africa, Kwame Afo, that was my main man in DC, Ishaka Musa Barashango. I mean, these are some of the people that helped to shape you, weren't they?
Oh, absolutely. And actually, these are some of the people that I dedicated the book to, 4 brothers and 4 sisters, all now ancestors. I sat at their feet. I learned from them. I cut my teeth, I guess you could say, in their wisdom, from Reverend Ishaka Musa Barashango from the Temple of the Black Messiah to Brother President Dr. Imari Abubakar Obadele. There's a whole, words cannot just express the impact he had on my life. Brother Attorney Chokwe Lumumba, my legal, mentor. Brother Kwame Afo, oh my God, so much wisdom. And the sisters, Queen Mother Audley Moore, sitting at her feet. Not everybody can, say that. The great reparationist icon. I'm talking about Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, long before the term white supremacy. Everybody was talking about it. She was spot on, way back then. Dr. Jean Sindel, most folks don't even know who I'm talking about, but we're talking about someone who was one of the architects of the anti-apartheid struggle. I learned from her, set her feet, and Sister Warrior Safia Bukhari, who stood up in a court of law and said, you cannot try me in your courts of law because I'm a citizen of the Republic of New Africa. And, she was a political prisoner of war. And so these are just some of the people that I drank from their cup of wisdom and knowledge.
Tell us a bit about your time with Queen Mother Moore. What is one of the most memorable experiences you had with her?
Well, one of the most memorable experiences is me seizing the moment and putting my baby just born in her arms and getting an iconic photo. I mean, I'm just saying that just meant so much to me. It was at an NCOBA conference in 1994 in Detroit. And, we were on the platform and the stage together. Queen Mother was in very failing health at that time in a wheelchair. And I said, Queen Mother, can you just cradle my baby? And she just smiled and put my baby, that was like one generation to another, actually 3 generations, Queen Mother, myself, and my daughter. But one of the things about Queen Mother, never be afraid to speak your passion. She spoke about reparations long before it was fashionable or acceptable for anybody to talk about. It was because of Queen Mother Moore that the inspiration from the Garvey movement, from the Nation of Islam, through the Republic of New Africa, through NCOBA, the National Coalition of Black Reparations in America, and through the NARC, the National African American Reparations Commission, all of that sprang through the wisdom, of Queen Mother Moore, and she is definitely an unsung hero. So I wanted to sing a little bit about her as part of my dedication in the book.
You first got stung, I guess we shall say, by the reparations bee when you were involved and learning it about and understanding the Black Panther Party.
Yeah, actually, I was never a Black Panther, but I used to sell Black Panther papers downtown every Saturday on, I would say, 13th and G Street in front of this little earring store. And, one day I just sat down on the curb. I was tired, you up here selling paper and all like that. And I just opened up the paper. I mean, I'd opened it up before, but I hadn't not really actually sat down and read every little thing. And I looked to the what we want, what we believe, and that point number 3, I think it was, of the 10-point program, talking about reparations, talking about, payback for, for slavery. And I'm looking at that and saying, dang, dang. We ain't never got paid. I mean, all of this that we went through, and there was so much I did not know back in those days, but in my bones, I knew that there was just something not right with where we were at that particular time. That was in the, when was that? That was in the early 70s, around 71, something like that, 72, and where we are today, and we're still fighting for that now.
Now you say you were not a member of the Black Panther Party. You didn't.
No. I used to just sit on the lap of that fine brother who was pulling security in the front office.
Let's talk about that.
Google.
How old were you when you run around sitting on folks' laps at the Black Panther Party headquarters? Talk to us about that. See, we're gonna sell this book. That's stuff people want to read about. Now, whose lap were you sitting in, and why were you sitting in folks' laps?
Say his name. I wonder if he ever even know. But anyway, it was I was 16 years old, and they were having these PE. There was this front office. This was on 7th and T Street at the time, 7th and whatever, my brains. And then in the back office there was PE, political education classes going on, and I would go into political education classes, but most of the time, he said, "Come on, sit on my lap, sister." So I, did, and I'm looking at this book. They used to have this little red book, Chairman Mao, quotations, Chairman Mao, and I asked the brother if I could borrow the book. And I just will never, ever forget. He just very magnanimously gave me the book. And I said, well, when do I have to return it? He said, when you have internalized this knowledge, my sister. And I just felt that was the most revolutionary thing I had ever heard in my 16 years. And I had that little red book, and I don't think I ever gave it back. I'm not sure where it is now. But, these were the things that I impressed upon me and impressed upon my on my young mind.
And I'm sure sitting in that lap had an impact on you too.
Well, I just say I was a good girl, so
Okay.
it didn't go
But now,
beyond that.
but now wait a minute now. There's another part of your history. Now there's a missing sex tape. Is that? See, Nikisha, we gotta talk about that.
You're gonna have to read the book for that one.
Come on, you gotta give us a little tease.
Is it here? No, easy, no.
Is this a celebrity?
Huh?
Is this a celebrity that you?
No, this wasn't a celebrity. Oh no. Just what? See, listen, it's really important to understand that I'm a human being. Okay, I do things that other human beings do. I'm not above or beyond or below or anything along those lines. And it's a little bit deeper that went into that story. You have to read about it in the book. That little vignette, it's not a whole story. That's just a little one of the vignettes, but it showed some of the vulnerabilities and personal stuff. It wasn't all politics and struggle.
And the only other thing I'm gonna mess with you about, isn't it also true? It's in the book. You were in the classifieds looking for a husband, or something like that.
Y'all always going on all that juicy stuff. You be so much involved in struggling all the time. You don't get a chance to meet people and all like that. And one of my girlfriends who happened to be a dentist, I saw her. I said, "What you doing, girl?" And this was long before Cupid and Black People Meet or whatever all those things are out there now. And she was in the Washington Post classified. And she said, "Oh, I'm looking to find me a man." I said, "What the hell?" In the Washington Post classified. But then the seed was playing in my mind. I said, God dang, maybe let me take a look at this, So I wrote me a little ad. And I ain't saying nothing else about that.
Okay,
Let's go on to one more thing. That's it on that. But read my book.
It's in the book. So this was mine. I'm sure this didn't make the book, but Nikisha and I were laughing with each other a couple of months ago because somebody on Facebook had decided that Nikisha is my son's mother, is Minraj's mother. And we were trying to figure that out, where did it come from? So people, but for the real stuff, that's not real. The real stuff is in the book that Nikisha has written, and we invite you, please, ma'am, please, sir, to check it out. You involved in the RNA case. Let me run something by you. I was talking to some young people recently about where our movement is today.
Yes.
And how a lot of it is more driven by social media and organization. And I was saying part of that might be, our generation, Nikisha, may have a hard time imparting to the young generation the importance of solid organization, because we may still have PTSD from our organizations being hit so hard by COINTELPRO. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you're very much correct. But one of the things I hope that the young people know and realize today, they're undergoing some of the same issues that we went through, and they need to sit at our feet. Those of us who are still living, we're dying off, also as well, and learn from our trials and our tribulations and our triumphs, and not repeat the same mistakes that we made. I tell some very real personal stories of issues within movements. Look at that. Don't make some of those mistakes. Some of the things we determined we were not going to make, which is why Brother Chokwe Lumumba and Brother Mario Badeli ended up coming together. They were not going to succumb to that COINTELPRO. And I tell about that and other things as well. So I think that the young people today, and a lot of them are sitting at the feet of the elders, and as Frantz Fanon, or one of our great leaders, said, need to determine their mission and fulfill it or betray it. That's what each generation must do. I tried to do it as part of my generation, and that's why I hear the book to try to relate some of that. But that's what the next generation has to do for those that come after them as well.
Hope y'all get yourselves together. Tell everyone, Black Power, Black Lawyer, it's out. The RNA, the Black Panther Party, the Capitol bombing case. the crack and powder cocaine sentencing disparity. Nikichi has made some moves.
The
Gotten folks out of
anti-apartheid
jail,
movement.
anti-apartheid movement, saved some lives, got some folk out of jail, missing sex tape in it. All of that is there for you. I know y'all gonna go straight to that page. Those of us who've grown up with Nikichi, we gonna go right to that page. All the stuff we witnessed, we were there for that. So congratulations, sister. And let me just say this. I commend you for having the discipline to do this. Most of us either do this too late or don't get a chance to do it at all. And Du Bois did it too early. He ended up, I think, with 2 or 3 autobiographies. So this is your first, because I know you're not finished. So there'll be another one, I'm sure, in the second half of your life. But we congratulate you. Congratulations on all the work you've done. And thank you for being such a tireless and eternally vigilant, as Frederick Douglass said, eternally vigilant soldier on behalf of our people. Kwame Nkrumah said, we will determine the revolutionary awareness of a nation by the political maturity of its women. And so if our revolutionary awareness is to be determined by the political maturity of Nikichi Taifa, we are doing great. Amen. Thank you, Nikichi.
So much, my brother. Peace and blessings to you. Love you so much, and forever and ever. And you keep making it plain.
And I'm gonna enjoy this book launch party.
Yes, indeed.
Dude. And if any of y'all at the party know about the missing sex tape, just put the details in the chat so the rest of us can see it. So we can, all right. Amen. Thank you.
Peace out, my brother.
And on that, again, collectively, together, today, we can make this book a bestseller. Please go into the chat and hit the link so you get your book from Amazon today. That's going to shoot it up to bestseller. And you know what that does. Once you say something's bestseller, then everybody else got to get some. Then we'll go to our Black bookstores and independent bookstores to get the second and third copies for gifts. Nikichi has a link on her website. So we've talked about the sex tapes in the book, the scholarship in the book. Here's one line. You see, I got several marked. But here's one line that resonated with me as a little X, because it's some of the stuff that we were saying. So Nikichi has taken us into the New African Creed, and she's telling us how she was reciting. And this is what she was saying, what they were reciting, part of the creed. I believe in the spirituality, humanity, and genius of Black people, and in our pursuit of these values. I'm going to just say that again, because at this time, we all need to be saying this to ourselves, to our kids, to each other every day. I believe in the spirituality, the humanity, and the genius of Black people, and in our new pursuit of these values. This is one of those books, and I hate to sound like an infomercial, but I'm kind of in love right now because words on the page do it for me. This is one of those books you'll mark it now, and 2 years from now, 5 years from now, you'll go back and you'll get something even different from it. So yeah, you're gonna wanna have one for yourself, one you could share and give away. So next on the stage, we will have another song. This one comes to us from Sister Afi Soul. She's a native Washingtonian, and she will sing one of Nikichi's favorite songs, Chocolate City.
Hey everybody, this is Afi Soul wishing Nikichi Taifa, aka Mama Nikichi, all the blessings in her new book release. And I'm going to sing for y'all Chocolate City. Let's go. Chocolate City for life. Beads and cornrows, pigs and afros, cherry curls with all the swirls, Timberlands with high top fades and AJ jeans. Those were the days. Your neighbor used to look out for you. She couldn't do nothing wrong, 'cause Mr. Bush was watching you. And if you listen, she always had a story to tell about the days when everything was swell. Well, 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 well. Come on, y'all. Ready yet, y'all? Ready yet? Ready yet? Ready yet? We say Chocolate City. Oh, I miss those days, yeah. It was a city to go to whenever you want to. 'Cause we used to run up the street back theater. Yeah. Chocolate City for life, Chocolate City for life. Yeah.
Ooh, I feel so. Oh, my sister.
Yes, 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 yes. So I see some people are already getting their copies. Dr. Daniel said he just got his because he want to read about the sex tape.
Oh, Lord, y'all stop that. Come on in.
So just like you're packing all this love into this party today and this in your book, we got something coming up next. That's going to be wonderful. Everybody's going to love it. Next week.
Before we get to that next, I
Okay.
just gotta say, because we are living in some trying times right now, and I just don't want this moment to pass without just saying or acknowledging. I mean, everybody talked about, they wanted to use the law to create change and, all like that. And the times that we're in, it kind of makes your blood boil when you see that grand jury verdict where the life of that woman is not worth anything, and where the only indictment that comes out is an indictment because the wanton dangerousness to the apartments of white people, as opposed to the murder of a black woman in her own bed. I mean, I don't know. It just makes my blood boil, And when we talk about, lawyers, we talk about the Supreme Court. When we talk about the situation that we are facing ourselves in right now, it's very similar to the situation that happened when Thurgood Marshall passed, and the candidate up there was Clarence Thomas. I talk about that in my book, about the that whole struggle with respect to the nomination of Clarence Thomas to the Supreme Court. But we're talking about a situation where we might have the highest court in the land, 6 conservatives to 3 quote unquote liberals. I mean, I'm just saying, we're in some scary times. And we as lawyers, we as activists, we as advocates, we as freedom loving people need to do whatever we can do to stop this madness. We need to make sure that we protect the vote. Fannie Lou Hamer will be turning over in her grave. I talk about Fannie Lou Hamer in my book. In fact, one of the inspirations for me in terms of not realizing that she was denied the right to vote and in prison for trying to just register to vote when I'm in grade school, when I'm in like kindergarten, first grade. I'm thinking all this stuff happened way back in the slavery times, which my mind was like millions of years ago, but it was in my own lifetime And it's still going on today, Sansaray. The more things change, the more they remain the same. But this is not just a domestic issue. We're in a whole global world right now. And I know we're going to bring some global folk to the screen to give a couple of shout outs. And I think they're going to go one after another. I don't know if you want to introduce them, if you want me to introduce them.
Well, yeah, I would like for you to introduce them, but I was trying to stay light because the news this week, whew, if we were not grounded, if we did not know who we are and whose we are, it would be dizzying and crushing, heartbreaking, beyond what we could even recover from. So let's just take a minute and say her name, not to be cliche, but let's say her name. Let's say her name, all of us.
Rihanna, take your
Breonna Taylor.
say that name, Rihanna.
Brianna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor.
Brianna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor.
Breonna Taylor.
George Floyd.
George Floyd.
Breonna Taylor.
Eric
Garner.
Eric Garner.
Eric Garner.
Eric Gardner.
Ty Gurley.
Yeah, let's just say the names. Let's just say them. I mean, there's so many. We can't say them. It's just,
Rashad Brooks.
Right,
just, you know,
right.
it's
Right.
Michael Taylor.
Michael
Jonathan
Taylor.
Sanders.
Michael
Yes.
Brown.
Sandra
Sandra
Bland.
Bland.
Sandra Bland.
Yes.
Trayvon Martin.
Eleanor Bumpers.
Aaron Rice.
You the love.
Right, for allowing
Yes.
that
Yes.
opportunity.
Okay, so one thing that Masamela mentioned when y'all talked was you could have done this years ago or in the future, but you chose to do it now. And what any author or anybody who's done anything big knows is when you got a calling to do something, you do it because you don't know why you're really doing it. You thought you were just getting your story on paper. You had no idea this time last year what 2020 was going to look like, but you were walking in the divine. So here we are with your instruction and your guidance. So, all right, I'm not going to go too far down that lane. Let's hear from your global community who are lifting up this book. Today, we are lifting up this book to do all the good it can in all the ways it can.
I'm gonna say who they are before you put it on the screen because it's gonna go. The three folk that are gonna be giving me shout outs at this time. One is my dear sister Teresa from Kenya, Njoroge. She can pronounce it better herself. But we're talking about somebody that I met in the context of the prison reform work that I do. Someone who was unjustly imprisoned in Kenya for a crime that she did not do, who came out of prison and said, I'm not going to just be good for myself. I'm going to reach back with my sisters, like our sisters and do with the National Council of Incarcerated, Formerly Incarcerated Women and Girls, you know, here. And she's going to give us a shout out. And immediately following that, we're going to have my brother, attorney, author Dion Hanna, also known as Ross Woonshaw, hailing from the Bahamas, currently living in the United Kingdom. Met him as part of my work with the National Conference of Black Lawyers decades ago. Always very inspiring. We're talking about a scholar extraordinaire. And then we're going to, last but not least, hear from my brother and sister. Oh, my brothers and sisters in the struggle. Brother Pete and Charlotte O'Neill from Tanzania. Not from Tanzania. They ain't from Tanzania. They from Kansas City. Former members of the Black Panther Party, forced into exile, first went to Algeria, then settled in Tanzania. They have established one of the most phenomenal centers in Tanzania for folks from all over the world called Mama Charlotte and Baba Pete. I've been there on a couple of occasions, and I know a number of people on this on the Zoom stage have been there as well. So let's let it roll and hear from some shout out. And some of them are here. They're here live here on the screen as well. But we're going to hear what they have to say. Thank you.
Congratulations, my dear sister Nkechi Taifa. What a great honor for us here in Kenya to know about the amazing book, Black Power, Black Lawyer. My name is Teresa Njoroge. I'm the founder and CEO of a social enterprise called Clean Start Kenya. We work with women and girls affected and impacted by the criminal justice system here in Kenya. It was such an honor and privilege to meet Nkechi when I had attended the Beyond the Bars conference in New York, and then met her a second time attending the conference organized by the National Council for Women and Girls Impacted by the Criminal Justice System in the US. And it's been beautiful forging these partnerships, and the sisters here in Kenya are cheering you on. We cannot wait to read the book. We cannot wait for the release. Bravo. Congratulations. We keep building this movement. Well done for the amazing work you're doing, Kechi.
It's my pleasure to be here with you today to honor our great sister, Empress Nkechi Taifa, who is one of my heroes. My name is Dion Hanna, also known as Rasbom Shak. I'm from the Bahamas, but I'm currently here in Leicester in the United Kingdom. I met Nkechi, oh man, decades ago in a conference in Toronto. I think, as far as I know, it's one of the largest gathering of revolutionary Black lawyers internationally that's ever been held. And it was hosted by the National Conference of Black Lawyers. There was a lot of dynamic people there. You know, Chokwe Lumumba, Heywood Burns, you know, a host of really inspirational people. But one person that stood out to me was Empress Nkechi. She is dynamic. She exemplifies the soul of our legal revolution for the Black liberation. She is dynamic, and you know, when I heard her speak, I was awestruck. She spoke on the question of reparations, and she's a member of NCOBRA, and you know, she spoke about the work of NCOBRA, and she opened my eyes to a whole field of liberation study that I hadn't been engaged in before. She's one of my heroes. I think she exemplifies what a lawyer should be, engaged in for the liberation of a people. She's one of the best at what she does. And I'm privileged to be able to honor her today and to wish her well on this launch of this book. It's a fantastic book. I can't wait to get it in my hand. Just the cover alone is so inspirational. You know, all of those great ancestors that have guided her are really awe-inspiring. You know, I think this book is going to be a classic, and I recommend it to all young aspiring attorneys. And if you want to be a hero for our liberation, follow the footsteps of this dynamic sister, Sister Empress Nkechi Taifa, one of the greats. Thank you.
This is Charlotte O'Neill and Pete O'Neill, the founder of United African Alliance Community Center. And we are bringing congratulations to our sister Nkechi Taifa for the launch of her new memoir. Woo, we're so happy. Can't wait to read it. I know it's good. Yes. So, congratulations, our sister. We met you, so when did we meet her?
1987 or 1988.
Hey, wow, we've known her for and you are such an asset to the community. You know, you inspire all of us. I'm inspired.
As I am.
Yes.
And now may I say something?
Oh, please do.
Good sister, big congratulations to everyone else. All power to the people. My name is Pete O'Neill. I was the founder of the Kansas City chapter of the Black Panther Party. I have been in exile in Algeria and Tanzania for 1/2 century, for 50 years. I met the good sister in 1987 or 1988 and she was a tremendous inspiration to me. That's why I'm sure her memoir will be as important as my meeting her was important to me. She was an inspiration because remember, I got to be quick now. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna talk fast. You gotta listen fast. At that time, communications were poor. We didn't have a lot of being in touch with the United States, didn't really know what was going on. The sister came here and she said, stay strong, brother. Keep the faith. The fight is still going on. Don't give up. I have not. I am still fighting, and it's in part due to her. And I'm sure her book will reflect that same inspiration. I am honored and I am proud to call you my sister, my comrade, and my friend. We are in Tanzania, East Africa, in the village of Imbasini, outside of Arusha, Tanzania. Aluta Kantanua.
Black power, black lawyer, black lawyer, black power. We send blessings and love. Congratulations, y'all. And this is a global shout out from Tanzania.
Literally from around the world, because when we give love, we do what? Magnify love. That's right. So speaking of love, I'm loving the blurbs on the back of your book from Nikki Giovanni, Julius Garvey, Angela Davis, Danny Glover, and others. Now, we have another treat. Y'all ready for another treat? Up next, we have Sister Sonia Sanchez. Let's give a round of applause for Sister Sonia Sanchez. Sister Sonia Sanchez, most of us know who she is, but I'll just put it out there anyway. She's an award-winning poet and writer. She was a leading figure in the Black arts movement of the 60s and 70s. She has authored over a dozen books of poetry, as well as short stories, essays, plays, and children's books. We are excited that she is joining us now for the launch of this book.
So greetings and salutations, Sister Sonia Sanchez. How are you, my sister?
Thank you, my dear sister. Greetings to you also, too. It's so good seeing you. You look so beautiful, right?
Oh, you. I am trying to step into your footsteps, and I know you just had a birthday earlier this month.
Yes, September 9th, 9/9. I just turned 86.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. I mean, you know, growing up, you were always my idol. I mean, I was an inspiring poet back then in college, I guess you could say. And, you know, I knew all of your stuff. You know, I used to just read and recite and all like that. And when I wrote my first book, which was a children's book back in the day, Shining Legacy, about famous Black heroes and heroines, I actually wrote to you and asked if you would write a blurb for the back of my book, and you did. And I'm just going to remind you what you said back then. You said, new creativity from a new author, sounding an alarm for unity, love, power, beat and be renewed. Welcome Nikichi to the circle of poets. Sonia Sanchez. I said, ow!
Whoa.
That was 1983, Sonia.
Wow, can you imagine that? Oh, my.
I mean, you were at the height. I mean, you know, well, actually, maybe it wasn't the height then. It was probably beginning to decline, though, because the height, I guess, of the Black arts movement was the 60s and 70s. Say a little bit about, you know, your role in terms of the Black arts movement and inspiring young sisters like me to have some consciousness in our head. Do you have any reflection you want to give to us?
Okay, one reflection is this. You know, that the only book that was on the Black arts was the book that Larry Neal and you know, brother, oh gosh, I can't believe it, that I'm actually brother Larry Neal and what is the brother Larry Neal and Mungu,
Baraka, maybe?
poet, Amiri Baraka.
Mary Baraka, yeah, okay.
Oh, you know, this humidity thing, you know, gets my head all messed up, you know. But and this right here is a book called SOS, Calling All Black People, a Black Arts Movement reader. And in here, you know, we talk about, we honor our dear brother Baraka in terms of what happened, what this was all about. But I just want to remind you of one thing, that that one of the things that some people said about it was that one of the people who said something about it was Grace Boggs, and about revolution, the great Grace Boggs in Detroit. She said, "My revolution is to share our beauty and resistance and history, our successes and our failures, exits and entrances, to make, as Grace Boggs said, space for our souls, to rescue us from the tyranny of racism, sexism, homophobia, poverty, elitism, class, and racial and economic poverty." That's what we were doing. That is what we were about at that point. Like Jimmy Baldwin said, "For while the tale of how we suffer and how we are delighted and how we may triumph is never new, it must always be heard. There isn't any other tale to tell. It's the only light we've got in all this darkness." And the point is that what we were doing is that we were bringing the light of our history to the world, because it would be very hard for a lot of people to think that, gee, you people must have always known about your enslavement. But we didn't know anything about our enslavement. No one talked about it. No one talked about that we had been enslaved in America. But let me just read the beginning of this book, SOS, Calling All Black People, edited by John Bracy Jr., Sonia Sanchez, and James Smethurst. Let me just read you this. Yes. The Black Arts Movement, BAM, was coined by the poet, playwright, critic, and political activist Larry Neal for the outpouring of politically engaged African-American art from the mid-1960s to the late 1970s, which Neal described as the sister of the Black Power concept. BAM encompassed a wide range of ideological and aesthetic stances. Nonetheless, like the Black Power movement, all strands of BAM were generally united by a belief in the need for personal and social transformation of African Americans to determine their own, you hear that? To determine their own political and cultural destiny, and by a sense that the movement was part of an international struggle against colonialism, neocolonialism, and racism. And that is so important. That's what this book is all about. We talk about what happened. And one of the things that we say simply is that one of the ironies in tracing the origins of the Black arts movement of the late 1960s is that two of its most important catalysts, Malcolm X and John Coltrane, died before it came to fruition, reflected in their significant presence in the literary and visual works that were to follow. It would be difficult to overestimate the two men's roles in setting both the political and the cultural agenda that made BAM such a potent force in the Black Power and Black liberation movement. And that's what you want us to understand at some point, you know, that Malcolm and Coltrane came to be seen as the twin pillars of the new outlook and attitude that gained full experience in the Black arts movement. Coltrane dismantling the foundations of Western music while simultaneously producing beautiful and moving words outside of its constraints, demonstrated that a new world was possible. Malcolm's words made explicit the critique implicit in Coltrane's music, and I quote, "Do you want to integrate in a burning house? Do you want to integrate into a burning house? Do you want human rights or civil rights?" And he constantly reminded his listeners that Europeans and people of European descent were a small minority of the global population.
Wow.
And
yes. I don't even know this book, SOS. When did this come out? I don't even know this one.
This one came out at least 3 or at most now by now 4 years. It comes out of University Press, right? Amherst, Massachusetts. And the year that it came out, was at most, it was at most, here we go, copyright 2014. So you're talking about 6 years ago already.
That's recent compared to your longevity in this movement. And you talk about Coltrane and Malcolm X, and I know Malcolm X was the inspiration for Brother Mario Baddelli. I know that we back during those times, I helped to get Brother Mario out of prison. I know that you were a colleague, you know, of his as well. I know that with the reparations movement, we sat in many, many meetings of the National Coalition of Blacks for Reparations in America back in the day. Do you want to reflect on anything along those lines? Part of that struggle?
When we talk about reparations, I always say anytime we talk about reparations, we should stop and remember Queen Mother Moore, because Queen Mother Moore brought to the fruition, you know, the idea of reparations. I remember being on, in New York City, and she got up on stage and she talked about reparations. And I remember she came off the stage and I said to her, "What reparations? What are reparations?" And she began to talk about how this country owed reparations to all the Black folks, you know, here in this place called America. But this was a beautiful woman, you know, this woman who talked about her experience in America with trying to free Black men in the South who were being sentenced to death and dying, coming north and working with Brother Malcolm, teaching Brother Malcolm, working with the CP party, trying to tell people exactly who we were and how important we were. And one of the things she said, I remember on summer afternoon in a place called New York City, and she got up on the stage and she said, "Reparations, we need reparations," and the whole audience roared. And I sat there so young, not understanding what reparations happened to have been about. And she began to talk about what was owed us as a former enslaved people in America, and what was owed us so we could reach the power that we should have reached. But the great thing about her is that she had a place. Remember the place that she had, and she would go every summer, my sister?
Yeah. Upstate New York, yeah.
New York, and we would go up there in the summer, and she would have people in, and she would begin to train them and talk to them about how we had to work for reparations in America. She was a great force, and she influenced all the Brother Obadelli, Brother Akbar, all the brothers who were very much involved with a movement, whatever, that she came with information. She came with the idea of who we are. And she told Black women who you are. She says, simply, you are an African. Ain't that something, and people thought, if I'm African, I'm a Negro, right? And she says, "You're not a Negro, you are this African, you come from a great land, and you are African. You're not, I don't even like using the word Black, but you are an African, that's what you are." And this woman who dressed her head, remember all the beautiful head wraps she would wear, and she made us begin to understand that we too could look as beautiful as she. But she also made us understand the power that we had, as African American, that we were a powerful people, that we needed to organize, that we needed to make America look at us in no uncertain terms and give back to us what was owed to us. And that was a beautiful, and she brought up names that we never even knew about, and she made us go run to the library the way Malcolm made us run to the library when he called a name out. When Brother John Henry Clark called out her name, right? When these names of people on the continent of Africa, we would go in and research them and say and talk about simply who they were. But my dear sister, what was so beautiful was that we were not just in dress, not just in hair, not just in clothing, but we were beautiful because we were dedicated and are dedicated to our people. And we took chances, did we not? We took chances with our jobs by standing up for us as a people, standing up and talking about our history, standing up and calling people's names out loud, that you should know this name, you should know who these people are, you should be like these people, that you are a Black woman, you are a beautiful Black woman, you are a beautiful Black man, you are this African walking on this earth, and you and I must understand that we have the power to take care of our own neighborhoods. We have the power to make sure that we move as invincible people on this earth in a place called America and in the world. And remember, Queen Mother Moore was an international woman also too.
Yes.
That, you know, and many of the times that she went to Africa, you know, she met with great leaders. She took people with her. She began to make us understand that we were not an isolated people. We were not just Black folks in a place called America, but we were these African people on the world stage. And she helped us, along with all the other great people we've mentioned here before us, that she helped put us African people back on a world stage. That was important because we had been taken off a world stage and given the status of just groveling people, people who just needed to be helped all the time. But she said, oh no, you are an African people.
Don't just like her.
Yes.
And she was a Garveyite, and she passed that tradition, you know, on. She's one of the people that I dedicated, one of the ancestors I dedicated my book to. And this is the new book, the memoir, Black Power, Black Lawyer. And I am blessed that for the hard copy of the book, you wrote a blurb for that book as well. I'm just going to share it with everybody. Nkechi Taifa's riveting memoir is both easygoing and explosive, written with sass and candor. A captivating book, remarkably notable for today's times. And you know, we are in some times today, Sonia, aren't we?
Yes, we are, my sister. We are, and the most important thing I think we must learn from this time is how we must come together, you know, as African people, and how we must come together as progressive people, and how we must reach out to people who have the same ideas that we have, right? And so we can change the things here in this country, in America. And one of the things we must say to people is that we've seen these young people on television go out into the world, move in the world, challenge, you know, the idea of the brutality of police, the brutality of a country that would keep people oppressed and suppressed in the way that this country has done. And so therefore, one of the things we see and understand that there is a movement. Many people think that we did not move with other people, you know, in the 60s. You and I understand that, you know, we also opened up to anyone who was progressive, right? You know, we said, come and work with us, help change America. If we change America, we change the world also too. So that is the beauty, of all of us during those times, that we were part of organizations, we supported organizations that were progressive in America. And that was so important for all of us.
So Sister Sonia, I want to thank you so very much for coming to my opening launch of my new memoir. I just want to say that your collection, We Are Bad People, I just love that. One of the children's books you wrote a long, long time ago, A Sound Investment, that really was about your twins or whatever. It just, thank you for everything, for your phenomenal life. I walk in your footsteps. I've learned so much, just as so many other sisters in my generation learned so much from you as well. I just want to say, Asante Sana Madasi, and thank you very much. We love you.
Thank you, Asante Sana, to you too, my sister. Keep up the good work, okay?
Thank you so very much.
Mm-hmm.
Was historic. That was historic.
Wow.
Sansere, I'm just saying, y'all, it ain't over yet. Don't go.
It ain't over. But can we just take this moment? This is a moment that I needed today. We needed this party today. So we just thank you again, sister.
Yeah, no, thank you. And also, I just want to give a shout out to my family, my sisters, Paula and Roberta are there, my nieces, my cousins. This is Roberta's birthday, September 26th. So I honored her birthday with my, with my launch. I saw Robin Ruth Simmons. She's an alderman in Evanston, Illinois, back in the attendee. Maybe if we can elevate her to the VIP. Her name is Robin Ruth Simmons. I mean, You know, there's just, I mean, it's still over 100 people on this call. Laura Whitehorn, my client extraordinaire. I talk about that in the book. Okay, Messiah Ehehosi. Brother Amari, you should just say your name. He just love the way these African names sounded. You know, my sister Sabrina, Dr. Von Daniel still on the line. Brother Ed O'Nacy wrote a book called Frida Land. Where is it? It's up here. I should be turning my head here. Frida Land, you know, we're going to be hearing all about all of this. Frida Land. Brother Massimella, you done called me out, brother. You know, and you thought that one was spicy. There's some other stuff up in there, too. Brother Cam from the National African, the NCOBA, National Coalition of Black Reparations in America, Teresa Vasafi, Queen Mother Marsha Vicky, Kaba Soul will be coming up in, you know, just a minute. I mean, Brother A.K. Akinyele Umoja wrote the book, We Will Shoot Back. I mean, we're talking about audacious. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Brother Ronald Steele, Ajawa Ayatoa, you all up in that book, my sister. You know what I'm talking about. Ifa Bola, she is the first person to actually have a review that's posted on Amazon. And let me just tell y'all, I'm just looking at the details. Prior to today, in each category, it was up in the almost the millions or whatever. But now today, as of 1:30, my book in the lawyer and judge biographies, number 73. Now,
We can do it. We can do it.
300,000 at that point earlier. In social activist biographies, number 90. In memoirs, 1,680. So we need to bring those numbers more closer. But let me tell you, it's jumped a long way. When I saw this 700 and something thousand, I said, oh my God. But just for today, y'all, let's do the capitalist thing and, you know, get these numbers up. And then we're going to go to our favorite Black booksellers, Black and independent booksellers. I have a list of over 100 of them from AALB on my website, www.blackpowerblacklawyer.com. And so I'm going to, Chauncey Ray, I'm going to let you go on and bring up Kaba. But let me tell you, we are going to party because we're going to open up everybody on up here. We'll elevate people from attendee to the VIP, and we're going to put on some party music, and we're going to party. But we're going to hear from Brother Kaba and see one more short video. We want to see if there are any more shout outs before we close it out as well. And you can shout out when you're here on the VIP stage. And I see Sister Ayana there, but again, thank you so much, my sister, you know, for that. Oh my God, my daughter has popped in. She ain't put her camera. Put your camera on there, girl. Mariama Taifa, put that camera on up in there. So go on, Sansaray. I just had to, and everybody else, Barbara, you know, Ifa Tayo, my sister Ifa Tayo Ojelati. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, I have a massive team of Sister Newly Street and Sister Ashe, Dr. Burnell. I would not have been able to do this without them because they prodded me for almost 2 years to get this done and to make it happen. My spot on production team, Brother Zama Cook, you know, just put everything together. Sister Aforiwa, Idawa, all these beautiful images and stuff that you see. My engineer, Brother Yao, y'all don't know what happened last night with this. We almost were going to have to carry all of this, you know, without any of the videos, but he got it all straightened out. Yeah, it was all good. And so many more I'm going to thank later. But go on and list, Sansabe, can you introduce, you know, every time I call them, they come. Kaba, I called him, I say, you know, I need you to do this song that I just love so much, Africa. I call on Afi. I say, you know, I need you to just come and do this song, you know, Chocolate City. Sister Ayana Gregory always comes when she's called. These are our artists in the struggle. And I really appreciate all the support, all of them, and many, 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 many more have given to me. Brother Greg Carr, I don't know what to say. Brother Matsamela, Brother Ron Daniels, you know, Sister Sonia Sanchez, Sister Nikki Giovanni. Nikki really did not even know me. Okay, I reached out to her son, who's a lawyer, okay, and she read some of my book, and they are all in my book, you know, as well. So go on, Sansaray, go on and introduce
Round of applause to the team. Round of applause to the team. Okay, so yeah, that's another thing I like about your book. You give a lot of shout outs, a lot of love, a lot of love. And it's just good to see people loving up each other. Anyway, next we are going to hear from Brother Kaba Soul. You can check him out on WPFW. He has a show, African Deep Thoughts.
By myself, Kaba, it's called Africans, and it is for African people and inspiration. Early in the morning, I think about all of those who came before, who sacrificed so that I could be what I wanted to be, who I needed to be, an African. They were Africans, yeah. Born of the continent where life began. They were Africans, yeah. From Nubia to Zimbabwe, to the ancient cities of Ile-Ife and Sankore, they were Africans, shown up Africans, yeah. They were dignified. They did what was right, fought for their lives so that we could survive. To be African, shown up African, yeah. Despite the pain of blood, sweat, and tears, they decided to persevere year after year so we could be here to say that I, that you, that they were Africans. They were Africans, yeah. See, first the Greeks and then the Romans came. Tried to steal your legacy, that's why they changed the name. But we will proclaim, Kemet Africa, we are Africans, yeah. No matter how much distance or how much time has passed, our blood, our hair, our style, our flair, they're all reflections of our past. So we got to know and love ourselves. First fruit of that first seed planted in the truth. And when we dig our roots, we won't have to go too deep to find an African. We are Africans, we are Africans, yeah. Born up the continent where life began. We are Africans, we are Africans, yeah. Born of the continent where life began. We are Africans, we are Africans, yes. We are Africans.
Americans. And what we're going to do at this time is play our final video. And while that's playing, we want to elevate some folks from attendee to the VIP part, because we're going to allow chance for 30-second shout outs. Anybody wants to do some 30-second shout outs, but you can only do it from the VIP panelists stage. So the way to do it maybe is to raise your hand, and then someone from my team will go on and elevate you. There cannot be more than 100 people though in the panelist frame. So don't everybody raise your hand, because there's already a lot of people there. So let's go on and I'm going to have them put on the last video. And did you want to say something before we put on the last video?
I want to thank you again. I know you're going to tell us about the importance of telling our own story. Yeah. It's important.
Yes.
Huh?
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. That's
it. You are so good, girl. Yeah.
All
so
right.
We're going to put on video, and you're going to talk about the importance, thank you, of telling our own stories, and tell our own stories while we're still here to tell it. Let's let that last video ride. To panelists, if someone lets you know they want to get up there.
Once upon a time, there was a lion who lived in a huge savanna, and a cuckoo bird that flew above. And on the edge of the savanna, there lived an old man and his son. Each and every day, that little cuckoo bird flew screeching through the plains, bragging to the old man and his son about how he had beat up that mighty, ferocious lion in the savannah. One day, after the bird had made its usual boast, the son turned to his father and said, "Father, I don't understand. If the lion is supposed to be such a big and mighty animal, why does that little cuckoo bird beat him up all of the time? When will the lion have a victory?" "Son," the wise father chuckled, "the lion will have a victory when he has a chance to tell his side of the story." So what is my story? I was a little black girl growing up in the mid-50s and 60s. I was a little black girl who was stunned sitting on the floor in the library in my family's home and reading about Emmett Till. A little black girl who was shocked to find out that Fannie Lou Hamer was beaten and arrested for just trying to register to vote. I was in kindergarten. I was a little black girl who was dumbfounded that none of these things happened way back in slavery days, but right in the present during my own childhood. I was an 8th grader who was mesmerized by the poster in my black studies class of a black man with a black beret on his head, with a rifle in one hand and a spear in the other, sitting in a Grand Slam wicker chair. I wondered why the head of the Black Panther Party was being represented by white lawyers. Where were the black lawyers to represent the black people? I questioned. I was a high schooler who was immersed in black pride, black power, and black is beautiful. I looked in an African names book and chose a new name for myself. I wore an African gele on my head and celebrated Kwanzaa. I started a Saturday school for inner city children. I sold Black Panther Party newspapers downtown every Saturday. I was a college student with a burning desire in my heart to right societal wrongs. I marched and rallied in support of political prisoners, in support of a free South Africa. Upon graduation from college, I taught first grade in an independent black school. I wrote and published 2 books for children celebrating black heroes and heroines, information I never had growing up. I was part of a gun safety club. I believed in the principles of self-determination, self-defense, and self-respect. I went to law school at night while working full-time during the day on Capitol Hill for a lobbying organization in support of a free Southern Africa. I worked in support of reparations. I graduated from law school with a fervent desire to fulfill the 6th Amendment dictates that everyone had a right to a lawyer. I represented and helped to represent political prisoners and others. For every step of my life, I was passionate, extreme, and proud of my choices, all within the bounds of the law. That is my story. But But the little cuckoo bird sought to criminalize my narrative. Instead of an inquisitive little black girl who grew into a young woman who believed in black pride and power, it was said that I was a threat to society. Instead of praise for believing in self-determination and the First Amendment, it was said that my associates and my clients were a danger to national security and designated terrorists. The Black Panther Party came under attack when their work featured free food and health care and community control of schools and police, and when they carried guns for deterrent and symbolic purposes. They were called the greatest threat to the security of the United States. In the FBI's own words, the purpose of the counterintelligence program, codenamed COINTELPRO, against the black movement was to expose, disrupt, misdirect, discredit, and otherwise neutralize the activities of black nationalist organizations and groupings and their leadership, their spokesmen, their membership, and their supporters. I was a black power advocate. I was a black movement lawyer, but I was also a human being. I made good decisions and bad. I was happy and sad. I had the challenges and personal frailties that define what it is to be human. Over time, I had beautiful weddings and unfortunate divorces, and I had a beautiful miracle birth baby. I am just as comfortable in the suites as I was in the streets. I helped to humanize the issue of mass incarceration on Capitol Hill. I advocated for fair sentencing, and I was a catalyst in the passage of key legislation. I'm no less extreme or revolutionary today than I was in my teens and 20s, but my rebelliousness has taken on different expressions. I can work inside the system and still struggle against it. I can keep my hair in its natural state and still kick ass. And I can still make a difference despite personal shortcomings. But again, there is obstruction. The COINTELPRO of yesterday has resurrected under the new label, Black Identity Extremists, targeting a new generation of young people extreme about their identity, extreme about justice and fighting injustice, and extreme about their rights. We must resist the criminalization of protected constitutional activity of free speech and association. We must not be chilled from fighting for justice. We must continue to protest against racism, police brutality, and mass incarceration. We must not allow our identities to be criminalized. We must reclaim the narrative and promote our own stories. As such, I proudly proclaim I am a Black identity extremist. I am extreme about my Black identity. I am extreme about my heritage. I am extreme about my culture. I am extreme about the Constitution. And being extreme is not a crime. Like the mighty lion, we will have a victory when we begin telling our side of the story. Read my story, Black Power, Black Lawyer, my audacious quest for justice.
Wow.
All right.
I'm so blessed. You know, Sansaray, I want to bring to the stage at this moment. I'm going to give time for some folks to give some little 30-second shout outs, just boom, boom, boom. But the first person I just want to call is the alderman from Evanston, Illinois. We're talking about a sister, a young sister, who has made history. The first municipality to use public tax dollars to fund reparatory justice initiatives in her jurisdiction, using the money from the legal cannabis business. So Robin Ruth Simmons, can you give us just a little shout out? I'm just so blessed to know you.
And listen, I'm so blessed to just be here. It has really changed my life, meeting you, Queen Sister Nkechi, and your enthusiasm, to see how well you balance the boardroom and all different rooms without compromising the movement, your Blackness, our power, our liberation. Whenever I'm feeling a bit unsure or insecure or discouraged, I go to your page and I get some power.
because you always keep us lifted up. And it is amazing that you've done it for what, 30 years or more in serving our people. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you on behalf of all of the Black folks in Evanston that remember you when you have come to speak at our town halls. Thank you for welcoming me into the movement and being available. It's just, I feel so honored that I have access to you. And every time that we've been able to talk, you have filled me up, and I feel better and more equipped as a leader in this movement because of knowing you and learning from you. So thank you. Congratulations. Thank you so much for all that you've done for our people.
Thank you so very much, my sister, and keep on doing what you're doing and being the example for so many others and so many other municipalities as well. I want to call on next my brother, Aula Sumbri. Aula, you know, I really love Aula because my daddy would have loved him because he was a Q, or he is a Q, and my daddy was a Q when he was living. Aula, just the father of Sister Niombi and Diallo and others of the Sumbris. I know he said he had about 30 seconds of something to say. So Aula, where are you?
Right, I'm right here, good sister. My Hotep. What I want to do is I want to thank you for your CBS, because
what CBS?
Yeah, your role in part of the early education of Niambi, Diallo, and Nakenji. They are what they are today because of committed sisters and teachers and educators like you, who understood the mission of the Council of Independent Black Institutions. Thank you, good sister. Asante Sana.
Thank you so very much, my brother. I'm not quite sure if Ajua Ayatoro is still on the line, but if she is, I really wanted to bring her to the stage because she was really one of my early mentors in the law, in the legal arena, when she was actually my supervisor, my very first job out of law school at the National Prison Project. So Ajua, are you there? And if you are, can you give us a little 30 seconds, something?
Yeah, I can give you a 30-second something, my beautiful sister, Nkechi. Nkechi and I mentored each other. She mentored me in reparations when she joined the prison project, and I mentored her in the law, and together we became activists, legal activists, and together we became reparations activists. We co-founded in Cobra, on and on. You are beautiful, my sister, in so many ways. I continue to honor you and respect you, continue to lift you up as my little sister, but continue to just marvel at how your wings keep spreading broader and broader and bigger and bigger. And so I'm so honored to be among those who can call you friend, who can call you comrade, who can call you sister. Go on, girl. I'm gonna get the book, but I'm buying my book. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be on the Amazon. I'm buying my book from Black Bookstore in Arkansas. And that I do this with.
And actually, you're getting a complimentary one too, so you'll have 3.
Oh, woo-hoo. All right. Well, then I have gifts. I want to wait for Kwanzaa. I'll then send it to somebody. But thank you so much. This is a beautiful experience, as I would have expected it to be. I thought I was going to be late, but I started with the very beginning, and the libation. Everything is beautiful, as I would have expected, because this is your spirit that is transmitting. So I've got to get off. I have an appointment. I'm sitting here trying not to run late because I want to, see everything. But I just am so proud of you, and so proud of what you are doing, and what you did for us, this party, but what you do every day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my sister. And is Brother Lenny Dunstan still in the house, the President Emeritus of the National Association of Black Social Workers, the head of the Institute of Black World 21st Century's Black Family Summit. I'm not quite sure if Lenny is still in the house, but if he I wanted to see if he had a shout out. Lenny, are you there?
I'm here, Queen Hotep.
Okay, how you doing, my brother?
All I can say, I'll just really sort of say ditto to what Sister Ajua just said. I'm humbled to, first of all, be in the presence of such luminaries that you've assembled this afternoon. But beyond that, I just want to congratulate you, Nkechi, for being the warrior queen that you have been for all these years. I am honored to have known you for the years that I've known you. I'm honored that you have paid a visit to my family. You knew my wife who was now an ancestor, and all of the support that you gave us when she was traveling through that last stage of her life. I will never forget the support we received from you. Congratulations. I will figure out a way to buy a book from a Black bookstore. So I'll just leave it at that. I love you, Queen. Peace and blessings.
All right, thank you so very much, my brother. Damani and Ife King. Damani has a book that just came out called Clandestine. I mean, y'all got to get this, The Times and Secret Life of Mariah Ote Reddick, a saga of resistance and resilience. Oh my goodness, this is going to be the next movie out there. Damani and Ife, Damani, if you're there, can you, Damani for years and years was the mover and shaker at Howard University campus, and now he's living it up out there in Panama. Damani, come on up here. Can you unmute yourself? You need, while you're getting there, you get one of your young people to do it, because y'all know we ain't elders, we ain't got all the right things. But Damani, if you're able to do that, go on and do that. And while we're waiting for you, one of my former students, Demetria McCain, if you are still there, Sister Demetria, one of my
Greetings.
there you are, Demetria, my sister. 30 seconds.
Oh my goodness. I mean, she was the light at Howard Law School when I was in law school there. You know, I went to law school thinking I was going to try to change the world after participating in some things with Brother Ron Daniels' activities in New York City. I moved from New York to Howard Law to change the world. And it was very eye-opening that it was very corporate there. But I found a home, I found peace, I found learning through Professor Nkechi Taifa's presence, not just being a student in her class, but her presence. All the energy you see here today, that's the energy she brought to her work, to her class, to our racial justice classes. So I am eternally grateful. You are one of my role models. You know, from finishing law school, I have kept my hair natural the whole time, in and out, in the policy room, in Capitol Hill, at the state capitol, policy work. You are my role model, and you continue to be. So bless you, and thank you so much. Just keep being you. We love you, my sister.
I love that backdrop of Fannie Lou Hamer. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
I'm going to just call on one more, and then you all just shout out, just for about 5 more minutes of shout out. Either Brother Imamu, Kuumba, Brother Kalechi, Igwam, either one of you all there want to speak out with behalf of the Washington, D.C. Afrocentric Pan-Africanist community, either Brother Kalechi or Brother Imamu. Brother Imamu Kuumba, come on with it.
Yeah. Greetings. I want to say Asante Sana to you. And I'm very grateful to have met you and your mother, who came by my house in 1970s selling World Book.
My mother, yeah.
Wow. Way back. And also want to thank you and say, you know, we had a lot of great times at the Temple of the Black Messiah, the Mario Badelli Saturday School.
Yes.
All right.
Oh, that's in my book.
And the Republic of New Africa, the African Freedom Fund, all these groups, we've been together. I mean, working for our people, on behalf of our people for a long time. And lastly, we wrote a book together. You remember the book we wrote, New African Children?
African Children of the Sun. I should have.
Coloring book we did. I don't have copies of it, but I thought I did.
I got one copy, Brother Imamu. One copy.
I have a copy, but I can't find it.
This was back in, I think, 1973 or 4 or something like that.
70 something. It was
1970 something. Yeah.
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 And also, did you remember this flyer?
Oh yeah. That's when Farrakhan came and spoke at Ujamaa.
Yes. Yeah. 1979, Ujamaa Shule, and the admission was $3. National Commission to Free the RNA 11.
Yeah. He spoke out in support of Brother Mari Obadeli, in support of his release from imprisonment. And he, along with many, many others, became part of the National Committee to Free the RNA 11, of which I was the chair of as a college student. I talk about that in my book too, but yeah.
Right. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. Is there a couple of other people? I see Brother Ed Onacy there, or anybody wants to give a few words of shout out before we put the party on?
Greetings, sister. This is Natalie, Mama Sarwa.
Hey, my sister.
We know each other from Ujima African Center School, and I especially want to congratulate you as an educator, as a writer. I'm aspiring in that direction. We do have Stolen Legacy in my house. My children have grown up going to all of your Kwanzaa Saturday programs.
Wow.
So it's been a beautiful journey. You have taught us so much. We are so blessed to have you in our midst. So I wish you all the best. I will purchase a book to honor and support you. One love.
Appreciate that. Yes, indeed. Brother Senghor,
Yeah,
did I see your hand, Brother Senghor?
Yeah.
Come on with
Yeah, Mama and Kichi, you know, we go back. I just want to say real quickly, I totally agree with what everybody said, but God is so the perfect black you are, my sister. I've watched you since your teenage years, and you've always been a consistent artist, a consistent activist, a consistent mother of the community. And I just really appreciate the fact that you've shared your book release with this global family. So stay strong, my sister. Keep on keeping on. I'm definitely going to get several books. I'm going to make sure all my children and grandchildren got it because they all know about you.
Yes.
So take care, Sister Kichi. Love you dearly, dear.
Thank you so very much, my brother.
Yeah, just want to say congratulations, Sister Nikichi. You've been a phenomenal teacher to me, apparently a teacher to so many, which isn't surprising. You're extremely generous with your time, with your resources, and with your commitment to the movement. And I'm really excited that the book has come out. I can't wait to share it with everybody who will listen to me talk about it. Congratulations.
Thank you so very much, Brother Ed, and congratulations to your book, Free to Land. Is there another?
I would like to say,
introduce yourselves, y'all. And that was Professor Dr. Ed Onacy earlier. Go on, EIE Fabola, Dr. Burnell.
Yes. Oh, I feel like I am the midwife of this book, having met with you for years, weekly, to get it out. I am so thrilled that you have come this far, and we still have work to do because we've got to get this book into the hands of the young people that need the role models and mentoring to move forward in the struggle. We have the baton and we have to hand it off to future generations. So I applaud you. I feel so happy that our work has come this far, but we're not finished yet. We're behind you all the way.
Thank you so much. And Brother Bomani Shakur has his hand up, not to be confused with the Bomani that's in my book, just to let y'all know. But Brother, where are you at? You had your hand up. Brother Bomani Shakur.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Free Land. How you doing? How you doing? You know, I look at things, even though I haven't met you physically, but I met your soul. Your soul is very beautiful. You're very dedicated. You're very committed, right? And I want to congratulate you on your book and thank you for all the work you did in the past, the work you do in the present, and the work you do in the future, right? I look forward to reading the book. I look forward to getting a better understanding of who you are and develop a better relationship with you and be able to educate it and continue to educate the mind and message of the people, as well as enlightening them to who you are and the work you have contributed. As long as you have an independent movement, struggle all for land independence. Peace.
Thank you, my brother. And I saw Messiah Ehosi. I'm going to have him close this out. And we're going to show what the credits don't go because we're going to put on some party music after that. But and Sonsa Ray, yeah, I'm going to let her close it out. But Brother Messiah Ehosi, former political prisoner of war. Messiah, who's co-defendant, he stood up in our court in Goochland, Virginia and said, you cannot try me in your courts of law because I am a citizen of the Republic of New Africa. I just love that. And then you came out and Safia came out.
Whatever your bodies are going through right now.
Someone mute themselves.
That's pleasant.
Someone needs to mute themselves.
I would like
Mute
to
yourself for a
say
moment.
something.
Oh, brother, okay, brother, mute yourself so you can talk.
Yeah.
Somebody, okay. Somebody, okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Go
Oh,
on.
okay, and my sister, I'm going to be brief, but I just got to say this, and you said a lot of it right there. For folks who don't know, it's like when Safia Bakari and I said we were prisoners of war, members of the Black Liberation Army Citizen Republic of Africa, at that time, things were so disorganized. Brother Amari told me he had this lawyer for me named Nkechi. It was only later that I found out what he was a student or something like that. But Nkechi just brought such a strong spirit to us because we really didn't have our thing down as pat as people thought we did or the way we did to. And I've always appreciated that. I mean, you know, we still ended up doing the time, but the spirit was there. And I love you, sister, and I can't wait to read your book. And for the rest of the story, folks got to talk to you about that. Free the land.
Free the land. Sansaray, take it away.
All right. Again, this was an amazing experience for all of us. Sister Nkechi, we love you. This book is going forth to do all the good it can around the world. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So there's still 100 people on here. Let's let the credits roll. After the credits roll, we're going to turn on some music. We're going to dance in our seats. We're going to bring up the party.
We're waking up the legs and
Actually, let's put the music on while the credits are going, Baba Yao. Go on and put the party music on. And I'm going to have to end the Facebook Live because they're going to cut us off because of copyrighted music. So I'm going to figure out how to end Facebook Live and go on and put the music on. How do I end Facebook Live? Stop live stream. We doing it, Baba Yao? Hey, Cheryl Baptiste, Kianga, Cynthia, and Jackie, Carol Blakes from Watoto, Paula, my sister, Alicia, who are Paula Brooks. Oh my God, this book would not be here if she was the first eyes to see my book before I was too scared to show it to anybody several years ago. Brother Imani Mahdi, you getting the music ready, brother? Sabrina Wood. She got the first option on my book for a movie. Francine Leonard, Tendai, my sister. All right, brother Cam, I said that. on. There's still 46 of us here, y'all. We done talk, we done party, we done sweated, we done, and ain't nobody eating nothing. I know nobody eating nothing. Thank you all. Just, I don't know what to say.
We love you in Kichi.
We love you in Kichi.
Yeah,
We love you from Gazy. Congratulations.
so much. Yes, congratulations, Mama Kichi.
We love you,
We love you.
Kichi.
We love you.
Continue blessings of the ancestors.
Love you, Nikishi.
Love
you.
Thank you. My inspiration, my shiro, my shiro.
My sister, always, all the
Beautiful,
love.
Nkechi, beautiful. Love you.
Love you,
Congratulations.
We want to
thank
Bless your life, sister.
Yes, elevate.
This is how we do it.
Up and up and up. I
Had a great time.
Yeah, two
What a
of
great
us
time to
called in
change.
on, two Watoto people called in on Mama Carol's line, Mama Dodge and Mama Jewel. Okay. Congratulations.
Figure out who the other Carol Blakes was. Congratulations, Mama Nikishi.
Thank you, Mama Carol. Your name up there in my book, too.
Calvin found it. I've been here from the beginning to the end.
But we want to just take all this rejuvenation and continue to use it to struggle for victory. We're in some very, very trying times. But like I said, it can't be all struggle and politics. We got to rejuvenate. We need self-care and all like that so that we can energize ourselves to be able to keep on moving on.
I say.
Bring it to
Luta continua.
We'll struggle from one generation to the next.
You know, I was running to you because I ain't been
We
saying
will win.
Lawyer.
I'll
And
bring
we
it back.
will win.
40 people up on this line.
How you been?
Black power, black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black lawyer. Black lawyer here.
Black power, black lawyer.
Black power, black lawyer.
What are you?
Black power, black lawyer.
Black power, black lawyer.
Seize the time.
And Jerry, Baba Hannibal.
Black power, black teacher.
Keep up the movement. Keep the movement moving.
Black engineer.
Juwai Baye. Madhotep, Juwai.
Rebirth of the ancestors. The rebirth.
Hold up. I say.
Black doctor.
I say. Black power, black teachers.
Yeah.
I say.
Black power, black freedom fighter.
I say.
Black power, black parents. Black grandparents.
Yeah.
After the grandparents. Black power, black spouse.
I say.
Amen, amen, amen.
Black children.
Black power, black life, whatever you want. Let's start.
Black power, black family.
Yeah.
Black power, black schools.
Yeah.
Black power, black healer.
Okay, so I know this is we can't say goodbye, but we gotta now. Damani and Ife Keen, I see your thing was slated up. I tried to call on y'all earlier. Y'all see this? This your book?
Yeah. And Kiki, this is Ife. Congratulations. The part of the celebration I have seen has just been marvelous. This is really a momentous occasion. And thank you for all of this struggle. Black power, black lawyer, black power, black struggle. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
And y'all get their book, Clandestine, The Life of Times and Secret Life of Mariah Otevidic. It is phenomenal. I'm telling you.
We have it already.
You got it already now. Yeah. Yeah, because we tell all the Howard people need to have it. Is my daughter going to show her face? She came. Zama Cook. Zama Cook.
Are you, Mariama?
Mariama, people are calling you. She's hidden. But Zama, again, thank you for everything, for helping to get the book out. Oh, here she is. Come on, I was about to say something. Wait a minute, I don't even see myself.
Say hello, Fanny, Mariama.
There we are, right there. There we go.
Hey, beautiful one.
How old are you now, daughter?
That's Mama Carol. You don't even know Carol.
That's Mama Jewel.
Black power, black children.
I say Black Power, Black Children.
Black power, black Watoto.
Watoto.
Ashe.
All them.
I was calling you earlier, Mariama.
Black power, black seed.
Away from your
I
computer.
say.
Black power, black seed.
Amen. Amen.
So, Mama Nikishi,
Hey, bro.
I was thinking about the first daughter that you claimed as yours when we were at Watoto, little Janelle Bell.
Janelle, Christina Bell. I remember.
I always wanted a daughter.
Wasn't there another one? Ife Tight? What's her
I
name?
just remember little Janelle Bell.
Janelle, Christina. She must be about in her 40s now.
You said she looked like, this one looks like she could really be mine, and you just protected her.
I say.
We're talking about back in the 70s, y'all.
Black Power, Black Family.
Black power, black teachers.
Nikki Sekou has 5 children now. His son just finished Stanford.
Oh my gosh.
Ashe.
I was one of Mom Nikishi's first students.
Yep.
Black power, black education.
In the book too.
Let me see who else was it.
Black Power, Black Mothers.
Yeah. There's Alina. Alina, where's
Amen. Amen.
Alina, show yourself. We can't see you. There you go. Is Paula around? Roberta? Yeah, Paula. Okay.
Where are you, Anuri?
Hey, Mamani.
Is that the Bamani?
Yeah, that's the Bamani.
The original Bamani?
From
the
the
original one, yeah. Well, no, that's a long story.
I know that story.
Read the book.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Now, that's not the one that Mark Thompson was talking about. That one.
No.
Black power, black stories.
I say.
Black Power, Black Books.
Black Power, Black Legacy.
Black Power, Black Authors.
I say.
Black power, black matter.
Yeah. So I know we need to, y'all, I know Michael Jackson said never can say goodbye.
Okay. Y'all ain't got to go home, but you got to get up off this ship.
Right.
I know I have to go. I got grandkids on the way to celebrate birthdays.
Black power, black grandchildren.
The oldest, Ellison.
Black power, black grandchildren.
To us, Anuli. Let's see your face.
Black power, black grandchildren.
Okay, tell them happy birthday.
If you can hear me, Black Power, Black Women.
Black power, black grand Watoto.
Women.
Yeah, sure.
The first seed.
Black Power, Black
Black great grandchildren.
Black Power.
Black Power,
Black Power, Black Good Snacks.
Black
power, black man.
Good Snacks.
Black power,
See
black
you
man.
on a webinar.
Okay, Nikisha, I'm gonna get a bunch of books for Kwanzaa, so I'll be
Black power, black
wrapping
man.
them up.
All right, Mama.
Black
No
power,
black
black
man, no
man.
black family.
Okay, I'm out. Peace, y'all. Stay safe, everybody.
I'm going to read all this
Black
chat.
Power, Blacknificent. Love y'all.
Black
power,
stay
black brother.
safe.
Black brother, black sister.
Stay
Ashe.
well. Stay safe.
Love you, Akichi.
Hotep.
Roberta, you still there? Today's your birthday, Roberta.
Black power, black love.
Roberta, I like
Oh,
that.
I like that. Black Power, Black Love.
Black
Power,
Thank you,
Hotep.
Ashe. Thank you.
Black Power,
Black land.
Lydia, Zama. Thank you, Sansaray. Thank you so very much. Brother Imamu, always and forever. Everyone. Thank you, Brother Yao.
Black power, black land.
Black Power, Black Freedom Land. Ama and Yamatre, Okomfo. That was that libation. Oh my.
Oh yes.
Whoa.
Ready for that?
Black power, black
Ashe.
teaching. I love you, sister.
Love you, Queen.
Black power, black independence.
Malik Farrakhan.
Oh, my brother, I'm Malik Farrakhan. I got your name up in there somewhere too.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have missed it for nothing in the world. A little late because I was driving while I was sketching it, you know?
It's all good. I got it. We're gonna have it. It was on Facebook Live. I've never done something like big like this, but it's all
No, everything you do, my sister, is B-I-G, big.
Yeah.
And never forget it.
So we down to 24 folk. I just don't want to cut off.
Black Power, Black 24.
And Black 24. The last 24.
Black Power, Black Dot.
Let's count. Let's count.
I don't know how to work this though.
And Billy Tattoo. Everybody hang up.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, we do Moja, Billy, Tattoo, and then everybody gets in to leave.
Okay.
All right. Moja,
Moja and Billy.
Oh, let's do 7 Harambe.
And at the last
Moja
Harambe's first.
everybody
Billy.
get leave, okay?
Harambe's first.
Harambe.
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 Let it go.
Ain't nobody hit in.
And
There we
Billy.
No, they're doing it. Come on, hit in, y'all.
We still here.
Moja.
And Billy.
Tattoo.
I love you.
Harambe.
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 Harambe means it's all pulled together, for those who don't know. Harambe.
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 Harambe. Last one. Harambe. I'm going to hit in, and it's going to go. I love you all. Black Power, Black Lawyer. Thank you, Lydia. Mama, BJ.
Lydia.
Imani, Ron, Anuli, Richard, Kelechi, and Farad. We ain't no forward. Love you all. Peace out.
Peace out.